and Google comes and buys it. So it's like whack-a-mole. And I don't have that much money. I don't have that big of an IT team. And so we're just constantly just trying to keep the sites up and working. And it's all a process. But I absolutely hear what you're saying.
Okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, too. Specifically to Google Analytics, it would take more work, but you don't need to run it. You can get those same statistics without it. As far as YouTube and using YouTube, yes, go ahead and use it. That's a great using their tool against them, and that's the best way to get the information out there. As far as the Facebook button.
Well, hold on, stay there. We're going to have to come back and then we'll get to other callers, but I want you to finish up. You said you have a plan. You should have a piece of software. I want to hear about that. Stay there. Wow, I was talking to Sasha during the break, and he was telling me some of the stuff he's up to. And I've gotten a pretty good gauge on callers over the years. He sounds like a pretty credible guy. And he's certainly doing some pretty interesting stuff. Let me tell you, the really good computer programmers, hackers out there are one of the best things we've got going for us. And most of them love liberty. Because when you're intelligent, you love liberty. That's one of the prerequisites. Of course, there's evil people that who are also intelligent, but that's a minority. It's just good people tend to never actually stand up to the corrupt. And it's only when we actually see it as our job to stand up and crush the corrupt that we start seeing real movement. And the globalists are experts at also co-opting people that are intelligent. But finishing up your point, in the next few days, you're going to send me this article that you're putting together, and we'll put it on Infowars.com after we go over it some. Finish up any other points you wanted to make.
No, that's great, Alex. The only thing I would say is that one of the things I'm a little disheartened about is that it seems that with the fact that Google has, basically got their code on every single website, so it doesn't matter what article you're reading on what site it's there. I think what the real solution is that at some point somebody needs to form another internet, a second internet, one that's it could run on top of the current internet, because if somebody pulls the plug on the internet, information sources like yours and so forth could just be turned off overnight. And I know that, you worry about these things too. And so there needs to be another solution so that, we have some like CB radio sideband equivalent of an internet so that information can still get out if it gets to that point.
Sure. Well, Google is clearly a government construction, an elitist construction. Now at the Bilderberg Group, Google is right up there at the top because they understand that they're taking over the entire economy and infrastructure with a system with built-in backdoors and Trojan horses to absolutely control all information. And as Google now admits, try to predict the future. So this is an attempt to create an information singularity or an omnipresent awareness, or at least a dim counterfeit of that. And it's very, very serious. Look forward to that email. Thank you so much. Okay, now I will try to hurry through calls. It's just that these callers are always so good. We got a bunch of news coming up, too. Reverend Bruce in New York, welcome to the airwaves.
Finally. God bless you. I have a couple of comments to make about Obama's background, and then I want to briefly ask you about the Bilderberg meeting. But before that, I just want to say, at the end of the day, I don't care what the devil is doing, what his people are doing, God has the last say, and he is in control. And on that note, concerning Obama's background, prior to Obama being elected to office, I don't remember the gentleman's name. He was being interviewed, and he had a lot of information on Obama. He did a great amount of investigation. That's one of the reasons why I didn't vote for Obama. What he had said was concerning Obama's family in Kenya, that they had a background that were originally Arabs. They were Arabs. They came into Kenya, and they held the current government hijacked, took over the Kenyan government.
No, that's Webster Tarpley, and he's written 2 books on Obama. That's all true. That's all true about Obama and Odinga. And they used a Muslim-Christian war to get Odinga in a new position. They created the prime ministership. And so, yes, that's what Obama did.
Not only that, Michelle encouraged Obama to become a Christian so he would be more electable. to become president or to get into office. So he was not a Christian. He became a Christian just for electability. Also, there was an article online that a gentleman wrote who went to a dinner, a supper over in Russia, and there was a woman who was a communist that told him all about Obama, his rearing, and who he would be back in the 80s. She educated him on this black man who would run and become president, that he is a communist and they're waiting for him. And she gave a whole lot of details about Obama and how he was raised to be president, and he was also a communist. He wrote a whole article. I have that on my desktop. If you want, I could email that article
Sure,
to
sure.
you.
What I think's going on with Obama is he's like a multifaceted shapeshifter politically. He's all those things and has all those backgrounds, but he has CIA from the time he's born in his background. So the truth is, we don't know who Obama is. We only know that he's not who he says he is. That's 100%. He's got 3 or 4 different names. His records are all blocked. He is not who he says he is. His official story is a lie.
We're on the march. The empire's on the...
Okay, let me do this right now. Let me go ahead and get into some more of the news, and then I'm going to go back to your phone calls, Martin, Kevin, Brad, Paul, Patrick, and others that are patiently holding. We'll go to Martin first here in just a few minutes. Here is some of the other news that we've got. Supreme Court ruling allows strip searches for any arrest. And they're saying that, yes, if you get arrested for any reason, it allows a strip search, which includes, I guess, a cavity search. And it implies that everyone should be strip searched. So now, even when you go into a custodial arrest, like your mom gets arrested for a warrant, you're 5 years old, the government takes you, you better believe the CPS wants to do that strip search because that's why they got into that profession. How many TSA workers have now been caught being pedophiles or running prostitution rings? It's like every day. They're so rampant about it, and they're so open. I've seen cases where they rape women in parking lots. By the way, I have some TSA news coming up next. So Supreme Court ruling allows strip search for any arrest. I've been arrested quite a few times demonstrating and protesting. And the police in New York, I don't even think they frisked me. I was wearing a T-shirt and jeans. They told me empty out my pockets. I've been frisked in the Austin jail a few times, but just, checking. But no, gonna do the strip search. Gotta enjoy the humiliation. I've seen videos online in the jails when men are stripping women. The women cry and they just start beating the daylights out of them. Because, again, you're gonna get dungeon keeper types who like abusing people. Does that mean all police are like that? No. But the bad ones get in there and they're protected and they're promoted. In fact, I did nothing at the Austin jail, and this about 4'9" guy, oh, maybe he was 5 feet. I'm not knocking people that are short. I'm only 5'10". The point is, this guy was no way he was above 5 feet. And I say that because I don't remember his name, so people know who he is if he still works there. He was red hair, looked like he was about 40. I'd been arrested protesting the thumb scanning by the state police. They were friendly, took me down there. And bring me in, and the little redhead guy tells me, turn around while he frisked me and starts shoving my head. Not super hard. It was definitely assault, banging my head into the cinder block. Just like, get up against that wall. Just a little, I'm a runt wimp, and I've got this job so I can shove people bigger than me around all day and feel powerful. I don't know how pathetic I look, how pathetic and weak this is. And I just felt sorry for the guy. Man, you want to work in a jail so you can shove somebody's head in a wall. Didn't smart off, didn't say anything. Just, I got arrested to talk about biometrics and where all that was going, and to warn people about the cashless society and how they would shut down garage sales and farmers markets, which they're now doing, harassing lemonade stands. I was pointing out that they want this cashless society for total control. If you're not a good globalist, they just turn your thumbprint off, turn your face scan off. So I was there for a reason. I was getting the attention I wanted to the issue. And it was on the news. You know, hundreds of people showed up at the protest. So I was very polite and very nice. And he enjoyed, I don't know, 4 or 5 times running my head into the wall. And then he was like, gonna do something? like a little leprechaun or something. He looked like a leprechaun. And they had red hair, looked like a leprechaun. And I was just like, okay, man, whatever. You know. If that's the best you can do, great. But no, they got other dungeon keepers like to strap you down in those chairs, the rapes that go on, the murders that go on. There have been a lot of murders in the Travis County lockup, so I'm lucky. You know, they kill quite a few people in there. It's always an accident. There's been a new video out of Chicago where they break the guy's neck for no reason and then wheel him out on camera and nobody got in trouble. So they just kill whoever they want. So now this article opens up a whole nother subject and a whole nother area. Because it made national news 4 or 5 years ago, if we had her on the show, when a woman from Lago Vista stopped at her community outside Austin, like a golf course lake community, and it's one of those places where the mailboxes are up on the top of the hill. And so she got her mail, and the kids got out, like mine do sometimes as they pull up near the house, and they were out of their seatbelts. Police officer pulls her over. On record, she didn't do anything. This was all in the newspaper. She said, oh, I'm sorry. My house is right there, 100 yards away. And he goes, you're going to jail. Takes her to jail. They call the CPS. Later, her doctor husband, the police came to his house and beat him up. The police drove by because it's quasi-countryside out there, and they were burning brush. Everybody does, burning cedar trees. And because I had him on the show, it was on the news, we covered the whole thing. And so they beat him up and took him to jail. It's like once they're going to start showing you, hey, we're going to show you, because he went on national news. Just 5 years ago, maybe it was 6 years ago, guys, search the term under web, woman arrested in Lago Vista for no seatbelt. And then it'll give me the actual date, because time just flies. It might have even been like 2004, 2005. I can't remember. I just get obsessed on mindless factoids. Sorry, listeners. And now they start strip searching people. And this has become a big issue. In fact, in the Supreme Court case, they're taking women mainly who've never been touched by another man other than their husband. And they're taking people to jail that don't belong in jail. Goody two-shoes old ladies, goody two-shoes young women, pastors of churches. I mean, you see it all the time because the system they encourage police in many cities now to get people booked. There's bigger fines, fees. It gets people in to get their fingerprints biometrically. This is on record. Get them in the jail. So you've got women who have never been in trouble in their life, and they're suddenly in a holding tank with murderers. They are suddenly in these jails with feces on the ground, snot all over the walls, vomit everywhere. I've been in quite a few jails protesting. In fact, when I don't want to be arrested for no reason at all, one time in New York, it was like 100+ degrees in there in the summer. Jail guards like out of a movie, like Quasimodo or something, where they were dragging one leg over with the keys in their hand. They're like, oh, you liking it? And standing there with a McDonald's bag and an orange drink next to the person going, you want